Hello, welcome to episode 2.
There's our blanket, excellent.
Asymmetrical twirling. Dropping and sinking up.
Notice how
So just notice. Joining us for the second episode of next week. Namaste. Namaste. Welcome to episode 71 of Namaste Yoga. We're having a really special class today. One of our viewers requested a class on a restorative yoga class, and so I can't exactly remember who asked for that, but it's here today. So you will need lots of props. If you have a bolster, grab a bolster. If you don't, you can work with rolled up blankets and things like that instead of the bolster. If you have blocks, you'll need the blocks, and again, if you don't, you can use blankets and fold them up to get the height like that. And if you have a yoga strap, you'll need a yoga strap. And then I would also recommend having blankets and things like that around as well, because with restorative yoga poses, you get into the pose and you release and let go and rest. And so because it's less activity, you could get a little cool during it. So having a nice blanket to put over you is a great idea too. So you might want to just pause the video and get all your props. Each week, I receive loads of emails from all you wonderful yoga participants and viewers, and I've decided I'm going to start each podcast with letters from my viewers, because it's wonderful to hear about how my viewers are fitting Namaste Yoga into their lives. So this first one comes from Gordon Munnerlin, and he says, I put on my headphones and listened to this. Something happened to me that has literally changed me forever. I reached a peacefulness that I've never have, but have longed for my whole life. Teaching this kind of energy to people is a truly wonderful thing. Thank you with all my heart. So that was a few months ago, back in November. And then this past week, I got another one from him when we did the crown chakra pose. And he said, Hi, Melissa. I just wanted to tell you that I've been working full-time lately and am about to finally get my own apartment. I am staying with friends now in such a highly active environment that it's been difficult to even have 5 minutes of peaceful time. But as soon as I get moved in, I plan to give my all towards my chakras. Like I've said before, it was that one single day practicing your breathing techniques that was the beginning of the start of my new life. Since then, I've become responsible and have been more productive than I have in many years. I'm truly forever grateful. So again, I say thank you with all my heart. So thank you so much to all of you who do send in your letters. They truly touch my heart and make doing this such a joy for me. I really do appreciate it. Okay, so we're going to be doing a restorative class today. We're going to start with traditional Shavasana. You might want to put a rolled up blanket underneath your knees or a bolster, anything that would help to make you a little bit more comfortable. So go ahead and rest back. I'm going to start with a reading from Sri Chinmoy, wonderful meditation teacher, spiritual teacher. Today you have given me the message of surrender. I have offered you my very flower heart in the dark night with tears, in the prison cell of illusion, in the house of the finite. No longer shall I abide. I know you are mine. I have known this, O Queen of the Eternal. So as you rest back here, begin to set yourself into the frame of mind that you need for a restorative yoga class. Allow yourself to release and let go, and begin to shift your focus so that you're doing less. With each breath out, you can let go of muscular and mental stress. And shift your intention so that as you do these restorative poses, they're poses of being rather than doing. Allow yourself to embrace deliberate stillness and quiet as you enter into your rich inner landscape. As you breathe, feel held by the ground. Sink and allow your organs to soften, receiving the beauty and wholeness of this moment. Your body softens and spreads, and your belly drops toward your spine. Allow yourself to feel spacious and loose. And feel the freedom in your belly, heart, and throat. And allow the bridge of your nose to spread towards your temples. Let yourself be fully supported here, allowing yourself the important task of doing nothing and enjoying stillness. So set your intention for what you would like to receive during this restorative yoga process today. And then you can begin to wiggle and stretch out. We're going to stay lying on our backs to start with bridge pose. And so the way that works is you're going to use a block, or you can use a bolster too. It would be a little more comfortable if you have one. And you're going to bend your knees and place your feet flat on the floor. And then you'll press into your feet and lift up and place the block underneath your pelvis. Okay, so because this is a restorative class, what you want to do is allow this to be relaxing. So even if you can place the block higher, we want to practice doing less, not achieving more. So just put it on a level that's really going to bring and invite the most ease here. And then you have a couple choices for your arms. One could be, they could be out to the side, or they could be overhead, like that one, because it creates so much space in my rib cage here for breath. And even if you take your arms overhead, just let your elbows be soft so you're not straining your shoulders at all, bent elbows. And it may be nice to place a blanket over you here so that you don't catch a chill. And then if you can do anything to become a little bit more comfortable, then go ahead and do that now. And now your whole being should focus on relaxing and letting go. Let your breath begin to deepen. And gradually and very gently awaken yourself out of this supported bridge pose. You'll notice I finished with my arms down by the side of my body, so it did feel good to change the position of the arms. It was just not that restful to keep them up there that whole time. So after you do this supported bridge pose, just draw your knees into your chest. And then for our next restorative posture, we're going to do legs up the wall. So if you have a bolster, we're going to use the bolster here as well. So let's see. The trick to legs up the wall is to get your hips right in tight to the wall here. And then swing your legs around and up. So you can use a mat here if you want. And then if you're using the bolster, just press your feet into the wall. Place the bolster underneath you. And rest your pelvis down. So you'll see here, my pelvis is kind of resting over the bolster here if you're using the bolster. So it's a little bit, it's covering half my buttocks and half my lower back. It runs halfway between the top of my pelvic line here. Okay, so this pose is just so many benefits. Great for your immune system, for your endocrine system, for your central nervous system. And if there's anything you can do to become even a little bit more comfortable, then go ahead and do that now. So if during this experience of your pose, your feet go numb, you can always just bend your knees, bring your feet in, or even knees open here until you get that sensation back into your feet. So if your feet go numb, you can always just lower your feet, either with feet against the wall or knees open, whatever is more comfortable for you. So always in these restorative postures, you're trying to get maximum comfort. Sink into the ground to do less, to be as comfortable as possible, to allow your body to restore its vital energy. Allow your breath to deepen and start to gently awaken yourself out of this very slow movements to come out of these really deeply restful postures. And to come off of this, if you're using the bolster, just press your feet into the wall and lift your pelvis off the bolster to lower yourself down. And then bend your knees and roll to your side. And just pause there for a moment. Okay. The next one is child's pose. So I know this is not a great pose for everybody depending on their knees, but let me set up the first people, and then I'm going to give a bunch of options, and I'm going to give options if you don't have a bolster too. If you don't have one, you know what, this is my most used and beloved yoga prop. I highly recommend them. In Canada, we get them at Half Moon, but in the United States, I know you have so many more options of places to buy them. So if child's pose is easy for you, you're just going to put the bolster between your knees and rest over it like this, and then it's fabulous to pull a blanket over you. It's great to have your knees open. Men, it's more comfortable to have your legs parallel and then do the posture. Okay, so a couple of things. Some people can't get their buttocks all the way down. If you're already enjoying the pose, just enjoy the pose. If there's space between your knees and your buttocks, take a rolled up blanket or a pillow, fill the space, and then do the pose. Okay? That should help knees a lot. If you don't have a bolster, you can rig something with rolled up blankets or blocks. So something like this would work really great. Okay? And then finally, if it's just not great for you to have a lot of weight pouring through your knees in this direction, you just change the shape. You just keep the shape and change the orientation to the ground. So you could set yourself up with knees to chest. And a nice easy knees to chest. So crossing your arms and holding on to the outside of your knees like this. It could also be great to do knees to chest with your feet against the wall, because it gives you something to hang on to there. Okay? So choose the position that works best for you. And you can continue to rest and let go, release. And remember, if there's anything you can do to be a little more comfortable, to make sure you make those subtle adjustments. When your mind wanders, just bring it back to your breathing. Okay, so allow your breath to gradually deepen and gently awaken yourself from this supported child's pose. Coming out as slowly and gently as you came in. We have one more posture that we're going to work with today. One more. Okay, so if you have a bolster, you can use a bolster here. And you can sit in front of it and then lie back down on it. Okay, and so for me that feels not so great in my low back right now, so I can adjust it, like move it up a little bit, like that. Okay, if you don't have a bolster, you can totally do this whole pose lying on your back. That's no problem. Okay, so this is reclined bound angle pose, and I'm going to give you a couple of options for this as well. One is, this is the easiest option. If you have blocks, you can place the blocks underneath your legs to support your legs so that your legs can really rest open here and let go. Okay, so they can be turned whatever way they need to be. That's probably too high. That's probably not going to work well. But to support your legs, and in more too if you're really tight in your external rotators in your hips. Okay, so do adjust them so they suit your body. The other thing you can work with here is a yoga strap. Now, let me just show you how to thread the strap so that it's tight at the end, so it's not going to slip. Because this is what I tend to have to do for my students a lot, is rethread their straps. Okay, so let's see here. You've got a buckle that looks like this. What you're going to do is take it in from underneath and from the way I'm showing you, in the higher hole, okay? Closer to the rest of the strap. So you'll draw it through, and then you bring it over and down the bottom strap. Then when you pull on it, it's going to stay taut. Okay? What you want to have is a big circle. That's what we're going to work with here. And you're going to take that big circle with your knees bent and just drop it over your knees with the buckle up by your belly button. You're going to tighten it as much as you need to so that it supports your legs. So this is great. If I'm tighter, I can have a smaller circle that will hold my legs up higher, or I can let it go a little bit to support my legs in a space that works well for me. So if you've got blocks too, you could use blocks and the strap. It's really great support. And then you're going to either lie flat on your back or over the bolster for reclined bound angle pose, reclined goddess pose. And remember, if there's anything you can do to make yourself a little bit more comfortable, you can do that. So my neck feels like it's hyperextending, so I'm just going to place a pillow on my bolster as well, and that feels a lot better for me. So make those subtle adjustments. Maybe a little pillow behind your head. Should just feel like you're resting into the lap of luxury here. As you rest in the pose, feel your body shift and settle. As tension releases and your skeletal structure, your bones soften into gravity. Letting go of all holding. So gradually allow your breath to deepen, to bring yourself slowly out of this posture, bringing your knees in slowly, removing your strap. And then rolling to your side to come off. And we're going to do Shavasana now, so I'm going to give you two options for Shavasana. One is to just rest back on your back. And if you do that, I would encourage you, if you have a bolster, to use a bolster under your knees. This goes for any time we do Shavasana. Or rolled up blankets under your knees. Okay? And the other option for Shavasana is to lie on your stomach. So this depends on your body shape. This is not a great pose for women with big breasts because it's too uncomfortable. But if you're fairly flat along your front, it's actually a very comfortable position, or if you're a man. So this could be your option for Shavasana today. It's a really great position, a wonderful position of letting go. So choose which option you prefer. And I have a reading to finish your practice today as well. This is a poem by Sri Chinmoy, the same spiritual teacher we were referring to at the beginning of the class. And it's called I Surrender. I surrender to joy because joy is power. I surrender to love because love is power sublime. I surrender to oneness because oneness is the measureless power. I surrender to the divine because the divine is the absolute power supreme. Gradually, you can extend your Namaste Yoga Shavasana for as long as you wish. I would recommend about 10 minutes. In closing today, I would like to thank all those who have sponsored Namaste Yoga through your donations. As a sign of our appreciation, we've been including your names in the credits at the end of Namaste Yoga. I'm not sure if you've noticed, but so much gratitude to you for your sponsorships to allow these podcasts to continue. So I hope you enjoyed this restorative yoga. Thank you for joining us for episode 71 of Namaste Yoga. Namaste.